And we're live. I don't have a fancy intro like Craig does over on Ammunition. Hello, everyone who is currently Pox. welcome,
Pox.
welcome to Casual AF. The gaming stream so casual. I'll play with fucking mods, cheats, easy difficulty levels, and 95% of the time I won't even start the game. That's how fucking casual it is. Fucking casuals. Craig, how are
Yeah,
you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Living the dream. I still have barbecue in my teeth. That's how
I
that's
got
how I'm doing.
I got jerky in my teeth. So what'd you guys have for barbecue tonight?
Pork chops,
Nice.
real nice pork chops, and some. My sister did the beans and the potatoes, and but my brother-in-law did this thing. It seems like a normal thing. You take the foil, you throw in your chopped up onions and your chopped up mushrooms, and you just
Yep.
wrap it all up and leave it on the barbecue while you're barbecuing. Let it all caramelize deliciously.
Yeah.
We peel this thing open, and I go, "What is that?" And he looks at me, barbecue sauce.
Oh,
He
so you put
dolloped,
sauce in it.
yes, a smoky fucking barbecue sauce, like
Nice.
almost mesquite, like what? And it just changed the game. I'm never doing mushrooms and onions any other way.
Oh, you know what? Because frying them in a pan is a pain in the ass, and even if you have one of those burners on your barbecue, you can't manage the grill and that at the same time. So it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's just much easier to put in a pouch. That's what we do with our
Oh,
potatoes. We
not
do our
even the
potatoes
pouch.
that way.
Not even the pouch. The dollop of barbecue sauce soaking in there. The smokiness with the
Oh
onions
yeah,
and the
no.
mushrooms
I
was
just mean
just
like in
fucking
terms of
beautiful.
cooking it, it's the easiest way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you caramelize your onions for your dogs and stuff, right? Like that's
Yeah.
just yeah. You do it with a whole fucking head of garlic too, right?
There you go.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's how we typically do our potatoes. We'll do potatoes with salt, pepper, spices, and then your shirt's too low. I love that shirt. That shirt's awesome. And then butter, and then we throw it in a pouch and we put it on the
Yeah,
barbecue.
yeah.
Yeah, just let them bake in there.
Let it sit for a couple hours. Uh, so okay, I've got a fun thing. Fun to me
All right.
anyway.
All right.
I'm gonna give this thing a shot. So you've seen I had a whiskey glass that was gifted to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At this, I saw one. I couldn't help myself. I haven't got myself something for my bar in a long time. So yeah, basically another whiskey glass, but this one has the little stem, the stem at the bottom, so that you can, like a fucking asshole. Look how pretentious I am. It's just whisk and aerate your fucking whiskey, man.
On the count on the table
Yeah,
on the bar top. Like you don't have
yeah,
to
yeah.
hold it like a brandy snifter. You just
And you turn to the lady next to you and say, "Good evening."
milady and you tip your fedora.
Tip your whiskey glass.
There you go.
Yeah, so this one's just a bit smaller, but yeah, just check out the stem, right?
Very nice.
Oh,
That's one you'd see on the Starship Enterprise.
oh, maybe, yeah.
Right behind Guinan. Be sitting there.
Oh, it looks like you have a visitor.
Hey, how'd you get up here?
I just did.
How did Trinity get up here? Hi, Trinity. Come on up.
Show doggo.
Come here.
Nobody posted it yet, but they will.
Come here. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to pick you up. Oh, you're getting too heavy. This is little Trinity. We're fostering Trinity right now.
Oh my gosh, look at that color.
She's a
Look at
beautiful.
those eyes.
Yeah, she's got those beautiful golden eyes. Hi, bright eyes. We're taking her to an adoption event tomorrow, actually, in Guelph. So we're going to go visit our friends in Guelph. Take her to the adoption event. Maybe someone will fall in love with her like we have and scoop her up. What do you say? You want to get down? Were you chasing Kitty? Go chase Kitty. Where's Kitty?
So, Chad, if you know anyone in Guelph, remind them of the adoption.
Yeah, it's at the Ren. It's at the Ren's Pets in Guelph. I don't know exactly where it is, but it's between 12 and 3. Trinity, get downstairs. Oh no! And she had an accident. We were going to bring her into the room tonight. Like say, oh, she's been so good. She's been so good about like going outside, letting us know she needs to go outside, doing her thing outside. Without any accidents, I'm like, oh, that's great. I don't have to crate her during the day when I'm working because she just chills on the couch.
Yeah.
And Melanie just informed me she had an accident on the stairs. She did a poop,
Oh.
which is very bad. I don't know why she did it. Because
She'd never been. She panicked.
Maybe she she went outside like before I came up here. So 20 minutes ago, she did a pee. I guess she hasn't like connected. She's like, I'm out here. I may as well do both. You know, I may as well get it out of my system now. I guess she hasn't figured out the
And it's
efficiency of when to go yet.
it's still a puppy. They take
Yeah,
a while to
that's the
figure
thing.
out self regulation.
Kenzie's like Kenzie's old hat. You know, every morning
Yeah,
she gets up, she goes out, takes a whiz, takes a shit, comes back in, and has breakfast. Right?
yeah.
She goes out in the morning, takes a piss, comes back in, runs around like an idiot, has breakfast, then goes out and takes a shit. And I'm like, why don't you just do it all in one go? Stupid dog. Anyway.
I didn't have to go.
Yeah, you
Uh,
did. You clearly did because you just did it on the fucking stairs. So you clearly did have to go. Accident on the stairs is our president's nickname. Yep.
Ajax has entered the game. Jesus.
Hello, Ajax. Good to see you. Oh, you're president.
I want to show you. I want to show you something. This is hilarious to me. Okay, check this out.
Special blend.
That doesn't matter. That's not what it is. Just look at it. Right.
Okay,
That's my little.
you're down to about what a quarter of it,
Yeah.
or maybe a third.
Because the other day I was gonna tie one on, play some video games, pass out on the couch,
Yeah.
and then I was just like, "Nah, I'm too tired to finish it," so I went to bed. Isn't that weird? I'm growing up.
Good for you, man. Good for you. I am not. I'm just getting older, but I'm staying as immature as always. I today I gorged myself on confection. I'm trying to get healthy, and the wife bought these Kirkland brand s'mores clusters, and god
Oh,
damn it, they're
Kirkland,
good.
okay. See, I don't know. Kirkland is one of those brands that buys stuff from other things and then repackages it, right?
Kirkland is like Costco's like no name brand.
Right, right. But those brands like Life Brand at Shoppers Drug Mart,
Right,
they
right.
buy from the big manufacturer
Yeah, they
and
just
just
relabel it.
repackage it. They do zero fucking advertising, so they
Yeah,
save the
you know when you're at Costco and you see the name Kirkland, you're like, oh, that's Kirkland's brand, yeah, or that's
but
Costco's brand, yeah.
but it's not. It's somebody else's product. So I'm
Sure.
curious as to who makes it. Is it made by certain companies?
No idea.
Because geez, did we not get into this? Did I just tell people to look it up instead?
I have no idea. I'm not even sure what you're talking about. All I know is that these things are delicious, and today, rather than eat a healthy meal, I snacked on those all afternoon and fell asleep on the couch. So I don't even think I got. Yeah, I'm like 7 steps shy of my 10,000, so I should get up and walk around at some point before midnight. And yeah, I barely exercised today. I don't exercise. I don't go to the gym on the weekends anymore because I'm doing 3 full body workouts through the week. Oh, look at you, you
Right.
pretentious cocksucker! And then and so the weekends are my like relaxed days, right, to recover. But I'm not doing myself any favors by eating fucking s'mores clusters.
No, clearly not. But you did mention how fucking delicious they were, and sometimes I
God,
wonder the garbage food when it's real delicious. Now I'm all scared because I heard this thing, okay, and I don't want to get fucking banned from YouTube or suicided over this because apparently this is not a well-known thing. People don't want to believe it. So PepsiCo, which
yeah,
is also Lay's,
yeah,
right? They under the ingredient artificial flavors,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you can get away with hiding all kinds of shit under that banner of artificial flavors. Like I can't remember the name of the chemical, but it's like it's got a letter or two hyphen some number thing
yeah, yeah,
that is not something that you actually taste. It's like a chemical agent that gets in your blood and stimulates your brain and
right,
activates your flavor centers.
yeah, yeah.
So you taste more of whatever it is that's in there, but not because that's a taste enhancer. It's actually like a brain chemical thing, right? And it's fucking with your brain.
So
That's not,
it's like MSG but for sweets.
but even MSG has a flavor, right?
It's
Like,
MSG tastes like salt. It's
yeah,
just like it's like a more intense salt.
sure. But
Yeah,
this is not if you took a spoonful of this, you wouldn't taste it on your tongue. But if you put some other thing, some other flavor in your mouth and a little bit of this, it tells your taste centers in your brain to work harder,
yeah.
right? The thing is, that's not the problem. The problem is how they discovered it and where it comes from. Because it's actually the chemical is derived from research done with human embryo stem cells. So, did they find something during the research and now they can get it elsewhere?
So we're
And does
all
it
eating.
come directly from fucking human stem cells? Does it continue to come from? Are we all fucking cannibals now? Are they
So
forcing?
yeah,
Are they
and
forcing cannibalism on us using aborted baby fetuses? Some powerful evil people joked about this. That yes, we murder babies and feed them back to you. Ha 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 ha. What?
they're all Satanists, right? That's how
Yes.
they sacrifice them to Moloch. So artificial flavors means prenatal adrenochrome essence.
It just might. Yes.
I
Yes.
bet it does. I'm gonna go get these things and I'm gonna
Mm.
find out.
If they come from PepsiCo. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see. Hold on.
Ah.
We'll chat. I'll be right back. Where did she do it? Upstairs? Oh, Trinity. Come on,
Assume the worst. They're never going to be honest to you. See, no, there's a thing in the cabal about if they tell you, even in jest, even through a film or some propaganda piece, that that yes, you now know it's your problem if you don't realize it's the truth, and they're what's the word? Karmically absolved of this. Okay, wait till he finds out where artificial vanilla extract comes from. I'm a Canadian. I know where it comes from. It's Beaver's anal gland. That's why I only use the real fucking vanilla extract, no matter what it costs. Yeah, guys, come on. It's Canada. Oh, wait till we tell Craig. I'm sure he knows. But yes, no, I mean, the beaver thing. I mean, it's a little gross, but like, come on. The
Oh,
forced
vanilla?
cannibalism.
Yeah. Artificial vanilla extract is beaver scent gland? Yeah. All right. I don't know if I can read this. Imported by Costco Wholesale to Ottawa, Ontario. It doesn't say who manufactures it. It just says Kirkland brand. If you're not completely satisfied with this Kirkland product, please blah blah blah. Okay, let's see. So it's got milk chocolate, uh, cocoa butter, chocolate. Oh, that's part of the milk chocolate. Never mind. Caramel. I'll find where the brackets end here.
Artificial flavors.
I'm looking.
Right, because that's technically what they mean by artificial flavors. The flavor isn't real. It's just happening in your brain.
Natural flavor.
Interesting.
Carrageenan, tapioca starch, marshmallow, rosemary extract, trisodium phosphate, natural flavor, dextrose, trisodium phosphate, calcium carbonate, canola oil, molasses, fructose, salt, honey, sodium. It actually doesn't sound terrible, but god damn it, these things are fucking delicious.
I'm wondering if the natural flavor is the castorium, the beaver anal gland,
Could be.
right? Because that is technically natural, right? Like it's a substance, happens to fucking taste like vanilla.
Arsenic is natural.
Sure. Right. But they can't say the thing they derive from the human stem cells is natural because they have to do something to it. They have to call that one artificial. So yeah, so that was my oddity.
That's pretty odd. Sounds like they're using chemicals to turn the frogs gay. Yeah, I think they are.
Fucking globalists. Yeah.
They're the worst. And you know who the worst is? Christia Freeland.
Oh fuck.
Do you know why she's the worst?
Because she's literally the best. She's the best globalist.
Well, not only that, but I always heard, oh, her grandfather was a Nazi collaborator. And then I was watching a podcast the other day, talking about Christia Freeland, not only was her grandfather a collaborator, as in he sided with the Nazis to avoid, death or avoid whatever. No, it's worse than that. Her grandfather was a
High ranking.
propagandist for the Nazis. He basically was given he turned in a Jewish newspaper owner, and he became the head of that newspaper and put out Nazi propaganda for that newspaper in Ukraine. And not only that, but he got the guy who ran the place, the guy who owned the newspaper. He got his apartment or his whole house. I think it was like a house. He got to live in his house. Yeah, it's crazy. And did you
Wow.
see her face when they were talking about what's his name, Yaroslav Hanka? Like, she was beaming from ear to ear about this guy. She knew who this fucking guy was. She knew full well who this fucking guy was. She doesn't care. She loves Nazis. She is a Nazi. I ranted about it on my YouTube channel.
Best worst. Yeah. So she's the absolute worst for all of us because when it comes to being a globalist, she is the best at being a globalist, right? That's what I was saying. But yeah,
Betty was
still,
an
like
activist.
her grandfather was like fourth or fifth in line in terms of the power structure from Hitler himself because he was a
Oh, could
master
be.
propagandist.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
who's the master propaganda? Goebbels? Goebbels, yeah. Goebbels.
You're all gerbils.
You're all gerbils. Was that Jack Paso? No, it wasn't Jack.
Yeah.
Who was it? It wasn't Jack Pasovic who did that. It was somebody else.
Yeah, I swear it was.
Was it Pasovic? I thought it was the guy who worked for Alex Jones, the other guy. Fuck. What's his name? Ethan Schroyer or whatever? Kevin
Oh,
Schroyer? Tom
I don't know who that is. I swear it was Jack,
some guy called Schroyer who works for Alex Jones.
but it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Like it's bad enough that most people just pronounce it Goebbels or Goebbels.
Goebbels.
It's Goebbels.
Yeah. But there's no E in it, Irving.
It's a fucking umlaut.
That's right. Germany loves to pretend it was all because of Hitler. Meanwhile, Germany is in the modern era, be like.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, maybe we should ban this political party for winning too much.
Yeah, really, right? Was it the
AFD.
alternative for Germany?
Yeah.
AFD, alternative for Deutschland, yeah. Yeah, because they were populist, weren't they? And that's why they got rid of them.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, they'll be too much like Hitler. We don't want Hitler back.
I mean, I don't. They haven't, as far as I know, banned the party, but they definitely openly started talking about it. But that means like 21% of your population is going to be like, no.
Yeah, we have no. Okay, so we have no political home now. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. So what do you think's going to happen? You think World War III is on the horizon there, Irving?
Oh, it has to happen.
You think it's going to happen, eh?
It has to.
How far? How far away do you think it is? Is it on the distant horizon, or you can see, like, you can make out the flag that's on the top of the mast of the sail?
I need to respond to this comment.
Irving is Chinese now.
Hiya.
Hiya. Emotional damage.
What's really funny is I know accents so well. I know exactly what you said, eh?
Emotional damage.
Yeah.
Emotion. That's Uncle. What's his name? Uncle something.
Oh yeah, fuck the guy who does the rice thing, right?
Yeah. The rice cooker guy.
Use rice cooker. World War II is over. Use technology.
That's it. Why you don't use rice cooker? You rinse or wash the rice. That's right. You wash the rice.
Measuring cup.
Uncle Raja. Uncle
Raja, one finger.
Uncle Raja.
Oof! I just got cooked.
Germany is gonna doing Germany things. We nuked the wrong nation in WW2. Yeah, but you didn't want to. first off, you couldn't do that because there were too many allied nations that would have been, Japan was this distant island nation. They were easy to nuke. Plus, America
And
didn't like
close
the
to Russia
They're
to
close.
show Russia they could get them.
Yeah.
Right. That was the real thing. We can get you, and we can do it again. That's why they had to drop 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So on the horizon, if Donald Trump were to get into office, I don't know how long game they want to play this, because Donald Trump in office for 4 years, assume that he doesn't get assassinated because there's too many fucking cameras everywhere now, right? So that's a much harder thing to pull off in a public place. Like, you can't just shoot JFK from the
No,
grassy knoll, right?
they'll give him the heart attack gun. They'll shoot him with the heart attack gun.
Still, too many cameras.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for the long game, right? Because it'll all be exposed. We'll be going back to the Occupy Wall Street conversations with
Yeah.
Donald Trump in office. Hey, how come even though the Russian ruble is the lowest it's ever been, it buys more goods than Western money?
Yeah.
Why is that? Maybe it's because it's backed by gold and by labor,
Yep.
right? It's backed by something real. So they can't allow that to happen. They have to either cheat the election hard, because Donald Trump's going to win hands down, or they have to go to war first and suspend elections.
Well, did you hear that RFK Jr. He's going to run independent, eh? Which means he's siphoning off a bunch of Democrat voters. A bunch of Democrat voters, like more than he would from Trump. So,
see, that still worries me, because there's a lot of people that go, I would do Trump because Biden is so terrible. But RFK is not so bad, right?
I suppose, yeah. But apparently, according to the statistics, it looks like RFK is siphoning more from Biden voters than he would from Trump voters. Now, how would that fit if you were going up against Newsom? Who knows? I think
Really?
Trump,
They're trying to.
if Trump goes up against Biden, he's a shoo-in. If Trump goes up against Biden with RFK Jr. As a spoiler candidate, an ostensibly Democrat spoiler candidate, at running as an independent, then I still think he wins. Even if he siphons off some reluctant Trump voters, the fact of the matter is most people who are in for Trump like hardcore. I don't think Trump got a lot of people voting for him in the second election who weren't diehard Trump supporters. So, and he got more votes in the second election than he did in the first election, which is, it's not very often that a president, an incumbent, gets more votes second term around, because he will have pissed off some of his voters, right? But he got more votes.
But it's also actually the first time in history that the incumbent president has gotten more votes and not won.
He
won.
He won.
Yeah.
He won. He just wasn't elected.
It's a big indicator.
Why am I eating these?
Because they're delicious.
I'm gonna double hard on Monday.
Because the human stem cells are affecting your brain and making you think they're more delicious than they are. It's just goy slop, man.
Do you have a Costco membership?
No. And thank God.
You should get one to go buy these. They're that fucking good.
Yeah, so no more PepsiCo for me. No more Nestle. I've been on the Nestle boycott a long time.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
I had a pop for the first time in like probably a month the other day. It tasted like shit. I'm like, I don't like this.
I know, right?
Because I've been drinking so much water. I'm like, I don't like this. It was a diet pop too, so.
Oh, that's weird, because I still drink diet, right? Caffeine free often.
It was a Pepsi Max, or whatever. Pepsi's the 0 calorie one, that zero sugar one that's supposed to taste more like Pepsi.
No, that's why it's a Pepsi product. It's gross.
We got a few comments.
Yeah, Costin's here.
Yep, Costin here. Welcome, Costin. But Squid's been making hay.
Mhm. He's a symbol. They wanted his fans to just go away when Biden won,
One, yeah.
but no, they won't.
Is to just get the votes muddled up and declare someone else by default. Yeah, well, that's what they're going to try and do.
Yeah, I mean, RFK in there gives him the opportunity whether or not he's in on it, right?
I don't think he is.
I don't know. Yeah, you know what? There's some stuff that he's actually fucking said that he's probably not in on it.
Yeah. No, I think he's actually, the principled person's Bernie Sanders.
Maybe. But just yeah, there was some weird shit that no. Actually those three are part of the Big 10 that own 90% of food distribution in the Western world.
Monsanto.
No, they do like genetics. They don't actually produce food directly. Like they produce
Oh,
corn, right? But like everything you buy in the package, there's like 10 companies that do about 90%, right? So Cadbury's one of them, Mars is one of them, Nestle, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. I can't remember all of them. But yeah, Nestle and Pepsi are now on my boycott list.
Nestle is a publicly owned multinational food processing conglomerate. Retail investors own approximately 68% of the company, while institutional investors own the other 32%. Interesting.
Yeah, but there's something about like different share types where basically that 32% still gets all the votes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know,
It's shenanigans for sure.
I can't drink diet pop anymore. Just drink unsweetened tea and river water like God intended.
There you go.
Yeah, that slurry river water from of Kentucky. Yeah, you keep drinking that box.
That his avatar. That's Pox's real skin color. That's from drinking Kentucky River water.
uh, but where were we? World War III. Yeah. So
Yeah.
because they have to stop what's about to happen. And what's about to happen is BRICS is about to expose the petrodollar, the fiat currency, as dust in the wind. That it's completely fucking imaginary,
Yeah.
right?
Do you think they would start World War III to prevent Donald Trump from becoming like to
No,
basically
that's
stall
that's
having an
secondary.
election?
That's secondary to the bigger deal. The bigger deal is control of the money.
No, I get that, but I mean, stopping Trump would be like sort of like not only do we put the world in turmoil and maintain our dominant currency for a while, but we can forego elections for a while we're at war, so Donald Trump can't become president.
Well, yeah, no, that has to happen because if Donald Trump is president and is president for 4 years, he's not going to fucking sugarcoat it. He's going to be like, "Look, they collected a bunch of gold. Now they're money. We can say that, oh, the American dollar is worth 20 rubles instead of 8, but it doesn't matter if 20 rubles buys you more than 1 American dollar."
Squid Coyote begs to differ, says, which would be funny because BRICS money is just as fake. I thought it was all backed by gold.
Yeah, so every ruble in existence currently is backed by gold. China is amassing gold. I don't think they have enough to currently back all the what is it?
Okay.
It's
All
one,
the
right?
nations in BRICS don't have necessarily gold backed currencies. Russia,
Right. But the base currency, even though they can trade in their own currency, is going to be the Russian ruble,
right,
right? The way that it's the American petrodollar and was it's called Swift, right?
right.
So uh but they're not going to be so hardcore about it to get more people on board and probably encourage those nations to buy more gold. right? Because if they kick out the central banks, and the international banks, international monetary funds, and all this, right, and they don't need them, well, then the Rothschilds lose their grip over the clay, right? Like,
Uh, yeah, Squid says gold backed money is fake unless you can walk into a government office and walk out with gold.
so I'm under the impression that if that's not currently possible in Russia, that is what they mean to do, right? That yes, your Russian ruble will be exchangeable on the spot for physical gold. Like that's what they mean. We have the gold to back this. I just don't know if they have the infrastructure and like everything set up for this to actually be happening in the moment, but they have the gold to do that. So that's pretty fucking interesting to me. Um,
He doesn't believe it. He says Russia is not trustworthy. Well,
sure, of course they're
who
not.
is trustworthy though?
Of course they're not trustworthy, but what they are is stubborn. All right, stubborn as fuck, and they don't want to be under the thumb of the international banksters anymore. And if that's the only way to do it, I'm not saying they're doing it out of any moral purpose. I'm saying it of sheer stubbornness to get out from under the Russians don't want to be ruled by anyone but other Russians. Right? So they'll end up doing the right thing for the wrong reasons, but that doesn't matter because it's going to expose the whole fucking system. Yeah.
What else
I mean,
might they do to prevent Trump from becoming president?
see, but again, Trump becoming president is secondary. Trump becoming president is good for real money, bad for globalists and international banksters, right? That uh yeah, like it's like Trump himself is a weapon in the fight, right? And they would like to deactivate that weapon to win the bigger fight, but they're not fighting Trump. They're fighting this other thing. Yeah.
You think they might? You think they might go? Okay, aliens,
Mm.
come and talk to us like publicly, so we can like completely change the world and turn everything on its ear because we're about to lose it. So we'll destroy the. We'll forget the charade, and you can come down and say, "Look, hey, we're aliens. We're here to help." Blah 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 blah. And then everybody
I
like, "Oh my gosh, we can have like cures for cancer and like we can power our rocket ships with pancake batter and shit like that." Yeah,
I love a good conspiracy theory. I don't have enough evidence to believe that one right now.
no way.
No. But okay, hold on. So again, my brother-in-law is in finance. Yes, their rubles are entirely backed by gold. It's fucking up marketplaces. It really is causing trouble. It's skewing values because my grocery bill in Canadian dollars is like 180 bucks a week for what amounts to less than 20 Canadian dollars. They're spending in rubles for the same amount of food, right? There was this guy, they had to
So
shut down
we
his
should move
Twitch
to
channel.
what? So what you're saying is we should move to Russia?
I'm saying we should adopt that standard, right?
Sure.
And
Great.
but
Back our
people stopped talking about this during Occupy Wall Street when everyone started talking about racism.
You're right.
Tim Pool has been on this for a while, right?
Yeah. Occupy Wall Street was taken over by apparatchiks
Yeah,
who were bent on no, we got to change the conversation. We got to have the progressive stack. So if you want to speak, you have to be fall into this particular
yeah,
category of oppression. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
yes, yeah, and oh, but that Russian guy, they had to cancel his Twitch because he would just run Twitch 24/7 in his apartment in Russia where he'd have his all the burners on his stove turned on while he went to work just 24/7 and he'd have a thermometer in the camera so you could see that the room is about 40 degrees Celsius in the dead of winter and then he would get his bill for the gas bill, and it would be about the equivalent of $5 American for the month in the dead of fucking winter, right? Like they're getting a huge bang for their buck right now.
Yep. What do you think of the rhetoric from our members of parliament and our prime minister when it comes to the whole
The oopsie,
the oopsie? Every time like the fact that they're turning it around, like every time, every opportunity, like we need to fight Russian propaganda. I'm like, really? Well, you just sort of confirmed a bunch of Russian propaganda by honoring a literal Ukrainian Nazi in the House of Commons. So yeah, and I love the phrase they use, illegal war. Oh, really? Illegal war. When was the last time a war was legal? It was an illegal invasion. Like, oh, so a legal invasion is one where you have permission from the country that you're invading. What is a legal invasion? Well, you have a legitimate reason to invade. So stupid. Andrew Scheer, man. Like, I'm like, fuck you, man. We have to. This all this does is play into Putin's hands for propaganda. I'm like, Ukraine's full of Nazis, folks. It's been full of Nazis since before the Second World War. Ukrainians were well known for siding with Hitler before war even broke out. They loved the guy because they've been fighting for Ukrainian independence forever. Then they're like, yeah, we should do what Hitler does and get rid of all the Jews.
well, and the communists and the
And
banksters.
the communists, the Jews and the communists. That's right. Anyway, I'm gonna throw a controller through a TV here in a minute. I think he's playing that game,
Armored Core.
Armored Core, and it's frustrating the shit out of him.
Oh yeah. No, but
They do not have enough gold to cash out rubles in circulation.
See,
oh, so what? Doesn't matter.
I
They
don't know
don't
where
have
you're
that.
hearing this because this is the problem. This is what started the fucking problems.
Even if they
Right.
didn't, they don't have to worry about that because the Russians are not going to put a run on the bank to get physical gold because then they have to trade in physical gold. They much rather have the paper money and just have the confirmation that it's backed by gold. So,
Which was the real problem to begin with, right? Like that's the advent of cash entirely, and how is it Nathan de Rothschild?
Evelyn de Rothschild.
No, that's the one that's alive. Nathan was in the 1700s, I guess.
Could
Maybe
be.
yeah, around maybe a little earlier. Yeah, basically it accidentally invented cash and then realized, yeah, like so cash was the promissory note. You deposit your gold in this big secure place with security guards, and they give you a promissory note and says, 1 gold or whatever.
Yeah.
So instead of going back to the store to like the storage to get your gold, change the promissory note to a new promissory note and have a little gold to make a purchase, people just started trading the promissory notes.
Right.
Oh, this costs 1 gold. I have a 10 gold promissory note. So here's 9 promissory notes. Go home.
Yeah.
But then Rothschild realized he could lend money to people he didn't have.
Right.
He opened up the stores and go, look at all this gold. I can give you more promissory notes than I have gold, but they didn't know he didn't have it.
Right.
And then he would say, now when you return it with interest, I don't want the promissory notes back. I want the gold.
Right. Fractional reserve banking.
So this is what's happening now, except there's no gold to be had. The government says to the international bank, we need money. They say, we'll lend you money that doesn't exist. And as soon as they do it, it's loaned at interest. So the government owes more money than actually exists.
Right.
All right. To the 9 living Rothschilds.
CBAC says
She's
she
here.
has the gold.
She has the gold.
Good for you. Keep it in your mattress or somewhere safe. Speaking of Costco, on top of these delicious s'mores clusters, you can get Kirkland Signature Brands caramel s'mores clusters at Costco. You could buy gold. You could buy little gold, like half ounce, quarter ounce, whatever, 1/10 of an ounce ingots at Costco if you wanted to,
No way.
but they're sold out. There's a run on the gold at Costco. They don't have anymore. They're all out of
Wow.
gold. Yeah. So
Wow.
people are getting wise, you know. People are watching Canadian Prepper. You ever watch that channel, Canadian Prepper?
No, no.
It's a good channel. The guy's great. He's got his finger on the pulse, man. Anyway,
Oh,
TD has them.
yeah. Yeah, they probably charge an arm and a leg though.
Oh, they charge more than the value of gold for sure because they got to make a profit, right? So
See where what was happening was it under Trump? They stopped charging tax on purchases of gold and silver because
maybe.
it's just a money exchange. It's not a purchase,
Right.
right? It's a currency exchange. That's right. Yeah.
Fractional reserve banking doesn't exist where we are on no reserve. Yeah, no, it's
No
true. There
reserve,
used to be they used to have limits on how many times they could loan out a dollar.
and we all know what happens when you divide by 0. Yes.
Your calculator goes.
Yes, it's fucking ridiculous. Hmm.
What else? What other topics do you have today?
Oh yeah, no, oopsie. Fucking Rachel Gilmore, who claims to be a journalist, literally referred to the hailing as a hero an actual live Nazi in the House of Commons, 338 clapping as a fucking oopsie.
Oopsie. Well, have you seen like the slowed down footage of what's his name? Speaker Rhoda. His name, right? Rhoda.
Yeah, Rhoda.
So when he's reading the statement, because you know he didn't prepare the statement, he didn't write it.
He
I
didn't
don't even
know
think it was
he
one
was
of his
resigning.
staffers. You know who probably wrote it? It's probably Freeland. Probably wrote it. But
Mm.
anyway, it doesn't matter. He reads it, and when you see his eyebrow goes up when he reads the phrase "fought against the Russians in World War II." His eyebrow goes up. So it's like he realizes the context of which he's making this statement. And he's
He was
like,
the only one
fuck.
that noticed.
And he's like, fuck. Why am I on it? So he's a Nazi? Why am I calling attention to this Nazi? Oh, C-Mac's been loving it. Loving it. She's like, this is making me laugh. Like, just the fact that it's not going away, that's past the 48-hour news cycle and people are still talking about it
Oh yeah.
is just the funniest thing. If you haven't seen it yet, folks, on my channel, I have a rant about the denazification of Parliament. And then yesterday I had a bit of a hot take about the Day for Truth and Reconciliation, or as I like to call it, Feel Bad for the Indians Day.
Day of truth and fuckoffery.
Yeah, that's right.
No, lies and fuckoffery.
Yeah, Feel Bad for the Indians Day. I've had a few comments on it. Somebody did not like what I had to say. That's okay. Not everybody. You don't have to be a fan, folks. If you hate me, you're still a fan.
Smoking hot rant.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Oh man, yeah. It's fucking crazy. Oh, you know what we didn't do?
What didn't we do? Wag me. Oh, right.
We're all gonna make it. So
We
yeah,
are.
we were talking a little about the gym and blowing it by eating a whole bunch of fucking goy slap today.
Goy slap. Speaking of goy slap, I just want to ask real quick. Your brother-in-law who made these delicious ribs, is he an Italian like your sister?
No, he's a fucking newfie, eh?
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. He's a newfie who's a big brain newfie, eh?
Oh
There's
yeah.
a few of them out there. There's a few of them.
Yeah,
My dad part newfie. My dad's dad was newfie, so I can make fun of him. Sorry, I digressed from Wag me.
it's all good. No, yeah, because he was getting pretty fit there just from doing all the work on the new house and stuff, and now it's been slowing down, so they've been doing more barbecuing and less work, and he's putting a little bit of the weight back on. So it fits. It fits. But yeah, you were talking about the gym. How's your 3 days a week full body going?
It's good. I'm liking it. I've moved up from two 10 pound dumbbells to two 12.5 pound dumbbells. Next week I was thinking of going to 15, but I think I might do another week of two 12.5 pound dumbbells. Uh, Now what I've been doing, because that workout, the 10 exercises, the supersets,
Yeah.
is very fast. I'm done in like 35 minutes because I take a very short break between my sets of two, and then I move on. Right. Uh, Now what I do afterwards is I try and do uh, another exercise, and what I've been doing is bench presses.
Mm,
You ever heard that? You know the term? You you lift to failure.
yeah.
Well, I lifted to failure, man. I really
Nice.
lifted to failure. Yeah, but so failed that I had to call it little help.
Good.
No, not good. I felt like
It
such a
is.
schmuck. And I wasn't even lifting a lot. I was bench pressing 105 pounds, but I think the problem was I hadn't rested long enough. I was trying to do to failure on the exercises, the 10 the supersets. LOL a bike. What? Oh, the people's car. LOL a bike. The Volkswagen. Anyway, so yeah, so I think I was overtired. Plus, I'd only had one day of rest since the last time I did bench
Yeah.
press. So I have a feeling that I wasn't ready. So I think from now on, what I'm going to do, because I don't want to just do my 10 exercises and go. I don't want to just do the supersets and go.
Hmm.
So I'm doing lateral raises on a machine, and I'm doing butterflies on a machine. Mondays I'll do the bench press, and then I'll do the butterflies and lateral raises the rest of the week. Because on Monday I'll have had 2 days to rest.
Right. Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So 105 pounds is my personal record right now for bench press, but it's
Good
not
for
like,
you.
well, I mean, and it's not like I'm doing 1 rep or 2 reps of 105 pounds. It's 10 reps and
Good.
then 8. And then on the last rep, I failed at 6, and I couldn't get it up. And one was up on the little hook, and the other one was on my chest. And I'm like, I tried as all I could, and I just couldn't. So I had to yell out a little help, and a dude came by and he helped me out, and I felt like such a schmuck. But
No, you know what? Like, because that's what you're after. People at the gym understand. They're totally for it. And, you know, like, if someone in the gym is not willing to help you when you're struggling, they're just a
yeah,
fucking asshole. They don't
well,
belong here.
here's the thing. I called it out, right, and there was a couple of chicks, on their phones gabbing with one another, like probably 15 feet away. I go, a little help, and I guess they didn't hear me. So I tried a little bit more to get the bar off my chest, and I couldn't. So I said, "Little help," and I raised my voice a little bit, and they heard me. And then this big jack dude, who I see there all the time, writing down in his book exactly. He's one of those bookkeeping
Yeah.
fucking weightlifters, right? He's writing it down. He comes and lifts it up like it's nothing, right? And I'm a thank you. Anyway, so
So I'm wondering, could have done it differently. Maybe yeah, can I get a spot?
I guess, yeah, yeah,
Because you know what? It's funny. There is a huge benefit to having pals at the gym
yeah,
and even fucking strangers. Like there was this, I was there the other day. There's this
yeah,
kid. He's got to be 14 or 15,
yeah,
skinny like a twig. He's using the Smith machine for bench press. And I ask him, hey, how many sets, whatever. He's like, yeah, I won't be long. I'm like, great, cool. And he's not benching a lot. Like, I mean, the Smith machine bar is 25 and he's got tens on each side. No,
yeah,
two tens on each side. So what is that, 65 pounds?
yeah,
Right. And he's fucking squeezing them out and he's struggling or whatever. Right. And he's like, I know it's his last set now. And he'd been doing 10 or 12 reps.
yeah,
And
yeah,
by the fourth one, he looks like he's struggling. So I didn't say anything. I just stood where he could see me beside the Smith machine and put my hand under the bar. And I never touched it, but just being there,
yeah,
right? And making the gesture like I go, keep going, go for
yeah,
10.
yeah. Yeah.
He fucking went all fucking 10 reps, and I never touched the bar once.
Yeah.
Right. But knowing that it's like, oh, it's not going to crush me. I'm not
Yeah.
going to get stuck. Suddenly you might find that little bit of extra push, right?
Right.
So yeah. Why do you
And
have you
that's
made
the
any
thing.
gym buddies?
When I had Chevy training me, when I was struggling to get to rep 10, like he would have me do 12. When I was struggling to get to 10, he would like he would put his hands underneath my elbows, kind of thing, right? He's like, "Come on, you can do it." And he wasn't lifting it. He was just touching my elbows.
Yeah.
And it was basically more encouragement than anything else. Yeah,
Two
I could probably I
Jesus.
think back when I was a kid, like in high school, and we had like the universal gym up in the, I could probably bench press more than I'm doing now, but I was young and I was never athletic. But
Ah, yes. The gay sex isn't the only benefit of having male friends at the gym.
it's true. It's one of the benefits.
Ah.
CMAC want to see the aftermath after I plant a controller into my TV. Hookers are cheap these days. Look, CMAC, I wouldn't take gay gym sex off the table for Canadian men. Just saying.
Have you made any gym buddies other than your trainer?
No, I wouldn't even say he's a buddy. I see him there and I say, "Hey, Chevy," and he says, "Hey." We like do the fist bump, but that's about it.
Oh, he's busy. He's at work.
He's working. I'm not going to fuck with him. I'm not going to stop him in the middle of his. Anyway, no, I have many gym buddies. I am a solo gym person. I go and I exercise, and then I go home. No, I grab a protein shake, then I go home.
No, I mean, if you because I try to keep to a schedule and like I go after work at an odd time, right? So it's like after 8 p.m. It's a little bit weird, right? You end up
Yeah,
seeing the same people on the same schedule. So, you know, if I see new faces, I don't say hello or anything. If I see the new face at the same time 2, 3 times a week for more than a month,
yeah.
then they get a head nod because okay, you're doing it, you're sticking it out. It's not like some fad thing for you. You've got a routine, you've got a schedule, and you're sticking to it. Good for you. And that's most of the people that I see at that time, right? They're pretty dedicated, but there's a couple of people that, yeah, like we seem to be on the same fucking schedule somehow. What are you doing today? Back? Oh yeah, me too. Okay, all right, let's share the machine then.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I've had a couple people say, "Hey, can I work out with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." Because I was on lateral raises, and he wanted to do some lateral raises. I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah,
sure." Bro. So, yeah, it's like they know me there at the gym because when I'm done my work and I come downstairs and I go to the little protein shake bar, there isn't always somebody manning the bar. They're over normally where the towels are and where they're greeting people coming in. But they see me walk over there, and they walk over, and before they even get the machine to look at my account, they look at me and go, "Orange creamsicle?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have an orange creamsicle again, please, thank you."
they
Uh,
don't know your name. They just call you Orange Creamsicle.
no, they know I'm going to order an orange creamsicle. No, they know my name when they pull up my account, right? So card on file, yeah, you can use the card on file.
Oh, that's some fancy ass gym.
It is a chain.
You got a fucking,
It is very bougie as
you
the
got a
if you call
bar
it.
and fucking a towel attendant and shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I got? I got like 50 Indian dudes that make up exercises and don't wipe down their machines. how how rude. Not being sociable after all the gay gym locker room sex.
I barely go into the locker room. I actually use the lockers just outside the locker room to put my shit in before I go work out. I should use the pool because I pay for this fucking pool and I never use it. I should go use the pool. And I should
Oh,
use
good.
the sauna because like you were saying, that your body temperature goes up, you burn more calories, right?
Ton of calories.
Yeah, I should use the
Just
sauna.
sitting there,
Yeah,
right? Like in the fucking hot tub, having a beer, smoking cigarettes, and you get out, it's like, I'm so hungry. It's like I fucking worked all day. What the fuck is this?
yeah, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, it's not. I should do that. I should. You know what? I think maybe tomorrow's Sunday. We're going to that adoption event. If we get back in decent amount of time, maybe I'll go for an afternoon or evening swim and then sit for 20 minutes in the sauna.
Oh my god, I have to swim this winter. Do you fucking polar bear too, C-Mac? Like, is that what the fuck?
Apparently, we are scuba diving next summer, and I haven't swam in forever. Oh, where are you scuba diving? You know
Yeah,
where's a good, nice place to go to scuba diving? Tobermory.
really?
Oh man, the water's like it's one, it's freezing cold. Two, it's crystal clear. Like you can see to the very bottom. Um, yeah, Tobermory is
You know,
nice. Lots and there's lots of what do you call it? Shipwrecks, like ships that have gone down in Georgian Bay. That's where it is, right? Georgian Bay. Yeah, Georgian Bay.
interesting.
Yeah.
We have an underwater park in Brock. I
Wow.
don't know what that is. An underwater park.
My sister-in-law's legal name is Honda.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
These guys,
They're having their own. They're having their own
they
show.
just rib each other while we talk. This is
Yeah.
fucking yeah, like so strangely, I've always loved swimming. I swim this winter and I haven't swam in forever. Uh I just swim. Like I'm pretty sure before my sister and brother-in-law got this house with the pool, I hadn't gone swimming since October 2019,
Wow, it's a long time.
right? And I remember because that's when I took the fucking trip to Dominican.
Yeah.
So we were in the ocean and in the pool, in the ocean and the pool for, every day for a week. And then, COVID lockdowns. So guess what? You can't do healthy things like exercise. That's illegal. Uh, Jesus Christ, fuck no.
Would you swim with a gator? No. I swam with dolphins. That's kind of gay.
And you didn't get raped? That's lucky.
No, they were heterosexual dolphins.
There's no such thing.
When you tell kids they can be anything and they pick a way to die. I yeah, I've been scuba diving. I went scuba diving in Bahamas. I've been snorkeling all over the Caribbean. I like snorkeling. That's fun. Would you fight a gator? No.
I'd rather not. Like if a gator just like popped up here in the room and it was me or the gator, I guess I'd have to try, but I wouldn't like the same way I wouldn't get in the ring with fucking anybody but Trudeau. I'm not getting in the ring with a fucking gator. No.
Yeah. I'd like to avoid fighting if I can. If
I
I want to have a
strangely
if I'm gonna have a fight, it's gonna be at a LARP event with foam swords. That's what
nice.
I fight.
Nice. I strangely though, I do know how to fight a gator or a croc. Same
Yeah.
strategy. You have to get low and stay in front. You
Yeah.
think that's the danger spot. It's not. Okay. When a gator or a croc opens their mouth,
They can't see.
they can't fucking see. It's beside them that is the most dangerous place because they can look at you, open their mouth, and swing and chomp accurately. If you get low, the moment they open their mouth, they're blind. And yeah, you have a chance. Hunted and fought Cog while he was in Toronto. Oh man, I used to follow that guy.
Who's Cog?
Cognitive Thought he used to go by back in the what were they
Is
called?
is is he
The,
on YouTube?
yeah, they were who were like Jeff Holiday and fucking Armored Skeptic and
Oh, like
Dave Cullen.
the not the New Atheist, but the Skeptic Society.
The skeptics and the anti SJWs. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
He got weird.
Cognitive thought. He's called Cog Live at Live Cog. Is that him?
Probably. Are you going to send him a message that this dude in Toronto wants to fight you?
Oh, I see him.
They do. Well, what if he's between me and the door, right? There's got to be some fighting, Ajax. That's what I'm saying.
He was at Sherway Gardens 2 days ago. Coming at you live from Sherway Gardens. No, okay. Now, which one of the is this guy? Is he the guy with the big long braided beard, or is he the guy with the glasses and the stupid movie hat?
He's probably the guy with glasses and the stupid hat.
Okay,
He sounds like a guy with glasses and a stupid hat.
they're at Toys R Us in Sherway Gardens.
Quick, tell Worski. He'll go down there.
Is he British or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I found him.
The skinny one with bad teeth. Really? Cog wants to fight people and shows up with his giant friend?
Yeah, his friend's with him at Sherway Gardens. Oh God, I'm gonna sneeze.
Craig, you want to be my giant friend? We'll go down to Sherway Gardens.
I'm gonna put on the Candyman costume,
Fuck yeah.
and now I don't have to sneeze. I thought I had to sneeze, and I don't have to sneeze. I can almost fill it out. I'm not quite filling it out yet. I got another couple months to build up some more chest.
We're all going to make it.
We're all gonna make it. We're all gonna make it. That's right.
And like you're talking about you switching to 3 full bodies with a particular time frame kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And just
antagonistic supersets.
Antagonistic supersets. Just remember, right? Even your routines are tools.
Yeah.
Your antagonistic supersets are tools, right? If you're finding that this tool got you somewhere, but it's not doing what it was, finding a new tool, trying a new tool may be the key, right?
Yep.
So like right now, I'm still okay with my I guess you call it a split, right? A 4-day split seems to be doing its job as long as I stick with it. But yeah, you weren't happy with your split, so you came up with a new one.
It's not that I wasn't happy with it. It's that I've been watching this YouTube channel called Renaissance Periodization, and he demonstrated this full body 10 exercise superset thing, antagonistic superset thing. He says this is a fast full body workout. You can do it if you take really short breaks. You can do it in 25 minutes because it's only 10 exercises.
Mm-hmm.
And it's total of 20 sets is what he said. But he says if you want to build muscle fast, this is a way to build muscle fast. I'm like, okay, well, I want to build muscle fast. Let me try it. So, because up until then I was doing, upper body and then lower body and then upper body and then lower body and then upper body and then lower body.
Well, here's my question: Was it working? Were you getting stronger?
I don't know. It's tough to say. I felt like I was feeling a difference. Yeah, I could change. I could up the weight every week. How about that? So
and now,
yeah, I can do that now too. Yeah,
good. Yeah, because that the tool just has to be useful to you at the time, right?
Right.
And the moment it stops being useful, that's when you get a new tool.
Yep. If you aren't growing food, you aren't going to make it. Just saying, I can kill anything I want or need to eat. Any tips for how I can get rid of my neighbor and how many degrees? Irving, Craig, and C-Mac, check group chat. Oh, okay.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
What am I in for?
Oh my God. Going into October, like. That's awesome.
Just fucking. You go ahead and share it. I'm on my phone here.
All right. That is fucking awesome.
Speaking of X, Elon Musk has been on a bit of a tear going down to the border and shit.
Yeah, he's becoming all activist.
Just and his mad tweets, like
That is brilliant, man. He looks like a G.I. Joe action figure, for Christ's sakes.
Yo, for a fat guy, that's decent form, man. Like, he needs to open
Yeah.
his hips a bit,
Oh, yeah.
but, yeah,
And he's
look,
like, I mean, he's. I
fist
don't think he
tight.
fell. I don't think he fell after that. I think he
No,
got
no.
back down on both feet
Oh, for
because he's.
sure.
That's pretty awesome. Oh, thank you. Yeah, for stop sharing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but fucking I saw an Elon Musk tweet. Uh, News outlets are basically reporting on what they read on X yesterday.
It's true. He posted something else. He said something along the lines of any parent who sterilizes their child before they're adults deserves to go to jail or something along those lines.
Well, yeah. Like, I mean, we call it common sense, but apparently it's not common anymore. I guess I should take this down if we're going to talk about
Take what
something.
down?
Oh, the banner.
Oh,
You will never be an obese N-word ninja kicking a gator. And it's sad.
and it's sad. That's right. Oh,
And he says he's 60% sure it's AI, but it's a nice action shot. If that's AI, apparently the AI is getting good at karate.
it's getting really good at
Yeah,
karate.
fuck.
Yeah, man. AI. Gotta love it.
But we've talked about the whole fucking sterilizing and mutilating children thing before, and like the whole concept puberty blockers. Oh, and you could just stop taking them and undo it. No,
Oh,
man.
yeah, it's totally temporary.
No, it's foot binding of your endocrine system. Your endocrine system is entirely integral to growth of all other systems during puberty and into adulthood. And once you've bound it, it can't be undone, right? It's just a mild foot binding. Like,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
multiple surgeries don't fix it ever. You'll just have more and more surgeries forever and never really get it back to fucking correct.
It's
And
true.
that's just foot binding. That's just bending a couple of bones. This is whole fucking system interruption mid growth. That's fucking it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like the doctors should know better.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They're a violation of their Hippocratic oath. Have you heard? I was watching Blair White uh, the other day, and she was doing this thing about Jazz Jennings. You know Jazz Jennings, right?
I'm aware.
So she did this video about, I guess, because there was a reality show associated with Jazz Jennings' transition. They actually have footage on TLC of the surgery of the vaginoplasty.
Jesus. Why?
Well, they
Okay.
didn't show. Well, because it's reality fucking TV, right? And the doctor, who is a trans herself, was was in the operating room, and another doctor who was assisting said, "Why are you cutting that? Like, why are you doing that? There's no reason to cut that." She's like, "Because it's scar tissue, and I want it to look proper." And, basically, they were arguing about how they were going about creating this vagina, this new vagina. And this woman, it turns out, this woman who did Jazz Jennings' surgery is the woman who Matt Walsh was interviewing in his "What Is a Woman," and she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's a small amount of what do you call it?
Botched.
Social contagion. A small amount of social contagion. Oh yeah, just downplaying the botched surgeries and that kind of stuff. It's like, how much of this is social contagion? Maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit. This woman who makes $60,000 to $100,000 per operation preys on parents who are worried their kid's going to commit suicide if they don't affirm their gender. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, if you watch Blair White's latest video on Jazz Jennings, yeah, it's pretty. Like, I never watched the reality show because I have no fucking interest in that. It's pretty fucking awful. It's pretty disgusting. And the whole time, she's like, I feel bad for this kid because this kid was clearly abused by the parents. Clearly was abused by the parents.
It's harsh. It's all fucking terrible.
It really is.
I really did like this though. When your enemy wants to cut off their own dick, let them. Sun Tzu.
Yeah, you know what? If you want to do it yourself, go nuts, but for your fucking kid, yeah, that's wrong, man. There was a meme I saw today that I wanted to share. Let's see if I got it. I'll send it to myself and I can share it.
Oh man.
There we go. All right. Sorry, folks. It took me a moment. You mind if I share one more time?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, 1 sec here.
The problem is the retarded parents. I mean, that's definitely part of it, but I imagine some parents are just trusting doctors the way they were raised to trust doctors, and turns out some of the doctors are fucking shirking all their responsibility. Hold on, before I share that, I got to share this. When your enemy cuts off their son's dick, your grandchildren will have no enemies.
It's true.
Also, Sun Tzu.
It's true.
Oh dear. Okay, let's see this one. Clean, simple, actual fucking SS vet.
Yep. You know what I found out? Speaking of which, there is at the Ukrainian church in Oakville, there's a monument to the Waffen Grenadier, Ukrainian Waffen Grenadier soldiers.
You're
You know,
kidding.
no, and there's calls for it to be removed again, right?
Wow.
I guess a few years back, they're like, we should remove this. These people fought with the Nazis, like on the side of the Nazis. Maybe we should remove this. And I guess there was like back and forth. No, they were fighting for Ukrainian independence. Yeah, but they were doing it alongside the Nazis. They joined the Nazis to fight for Ukrainian independence.
I mean, look, you're surrounded by two groups with guns. One of them says, you belong to us. The other says, we'll let you be free. You don't have a choice. You're getting shot at either way.
I guess. But I mean, I don't know.
It's a rough time in Europe, man. And you want to put it on a metric?
I suppose, but if
Put it on a metric, Bolshevik communists were way fucking worse. Way fucking worse.
I hope if it comes down to it, and I need to join forces with somebody, I don't join forces with somebody who tried to exterminate a group of people. That's all.
Some people gotta go. I don't know what to tell you.
Some people are worth, what? Like some people just need dying. Wow. Starting last chapter, rough draft on Monday. Nice job, 6.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you something. Who do you side with in the war between Russia and Ukraine right now?
What's that? Who are you asking me?
Yeah, who would you side with?
See, that question's unfair
Okay.
because it's not a war between Russia and Ukraine. right? It's a war between the Russian dollar and the like corrupt international financiers.
I know that.
Right. So who do you side with? Well, I don't. I try to get my own fucking golden labor backed currency in my own nation. I'm not worried. Like I that fight shouldn't be happening, but
Right.
it's not happening directly because of Russia.
No,
Right.
it's
And
happening.
it's not happening because of Ukraine.
There's a multitude of reasons why it occurred. It's not just when they frame it as it was an unprovoked attack. It really was not an unprovoked attack. There are reasons why Russia's doing what it's doing.
Yes.
Do I now when it comes down to so let's just say there are gray hats in this and then there are black hats in this, but there are no white hats in this.
Pretty much.
Okay?
Right.
So to me, NATO using Ukraine as a using the conflict as a proxy war to enrich themselves, uh, I think are the black hats. I think Zelensky's a gray hat. He's an opportunist who wants to be rich and get as much cocaine as he can, and he's happy to launder money for the West. And Ukraine was invaded, no doubt. And I view that Russia, having its reasons, primarily wanting to push back on NATO, you know, building itself around his nation that he's trying to keep alive for the indeterminate future, uh, feels justified in going into those specific regions of Ukraine uh, to denazify it, as he says, and also to get a land bridge to Crimea so he has access to the Black Sea. So in that sense, I see him as a gray hat. The only black hats I see here are really the Western leaders who are just have no interest in trying to bring about peace or negotiate anything. They're the black hats in this whole thing.
Howdy, folks. All wars are banker wars. The world is a stage.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, it ceded from Ukraine after the invasion started, after the so-called invasion started. It
Well,
was a
see,
liberation. It was a
look,
liberation exercise by Russia, is the way they put it.
so I'm pretty sure they've pulled the documentary called Winter on Fire.
Is it Winter on Fire or Ukraine on Fire? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
And yeah, so I can't remember the name of the guy who was legitimately elected president. They protested this legitimately elected president in Maidan for months on end, funded entirely by the CIA and George Soros to overthrow and oust the legitimately elected president and install Zelensky. This is when the issue begins because guess what? The people of Donetsk and Donbass are largely Russian speaking people,
Right, they're
Russian
90%.
ethnics,
It's 90% ethnic Russian. Yeah,
and they were the people that their votes pushed that president into office. They voted largely for him because his goal was to make friends of Russia, right, rather than bow to NATO and the EU. And that it's silly. They're our biggest neighbor. They're our closest peoples, right? Why would we be like antagonistic to them? Let's be friends instead. And it made perfect sense, but it didn't suit the fucking globalist financiers, the international banksters, and so they had to oust them because Russia's shoring up their money. China's shoring up their money. And the only way to stage a real war against a nation like that is a ground invasion. You can do some air and some sea. It's absolutely necessary. But the only way into Russia is through Ukraine. You need it on your side. It can't be an ally of Russia's. It has to be your ally. So you have
right.
to get rid of that fucking leader. Then you have to provoke a response. So yes, they were doing nasty shit to the Russian peoples in Donetsk and
Oh yeah,
Donbass.
they were firing rockets at or what do you call it? Yeah, rockets at them for years, and those rockets were being given to them by NATO. So no, I agree. I didn't realize that, guys, about a vote years ago. I know that they did a referendum after the invasion started of Donbass and Donetsk. I know that. I didn't know there was one done years ago. I had no
Yeah,
idea.
I'm pretty sure it was right after the Winter on Fire that they were like, no, we then if this is what's happening, if this is how you're going to do it, we don't want to be part of Ukraine anymore because we're all fucking Russians, right? We were happy to live here and happy to be allies, but no, we're out. So
I gotta stop eating these fucking things. That's sick.
So yeah, like Zelensky, I think your assessment is incorrect. He's either a black hat or a useful idiot for a black hat, making him a no hat. But he can't, in my estimation, cannot be a gray hat. Right? Not even a proper opportunist. Just yeah, either in on it, like been to Epstein's Island,
Oh yeah, I'm
or
sure. I'm sure he's in on it. I'm sure he's in on it. He's a bad actor, no doubt. But I don't know. You think? Well, yeah, maybe he is a black hat.
right. And then I'm too big.
Black hats.
I'm too big a fan of Warhammer, right? What if we're all wrong about this? What if we're all wrong? What if there is such a thing as real evil that's bleeding in from some mystical outside of the physical existence idea that we think of, the atomist perspective? What if it's absolutely true that the only way to stop the fucking cannibalistic, devil worshipping pedophiles is to become extreme zealots and mercilessly wipe out all resistance because any corruption is too much corruption? Like, what if they're right? I, the more we learn about Epstein Island.
It's true. My concern is though that there's if corruption is so pervasive and ubiquitous, I like using big words.
It's a good word.
How do we're going to constantly be we're going to be zealots forever. We're going to be trying to get rid of the
Yes.
I'd like a little bit of peace in my lifetime,
Well, once you wipe out all the Moloch worshippers, there will be peace. Like that's the basic idea behind Islam, right? When the whole world is Islamic, there will be peace. Until then, it's fucking war.
But even that's not true because there's factions of
Yes.
Muslims. There's Sunnis, there's Shiites, there's
That's right. That's right. They're the ones that have it wrong.
Right, exactly. There's always going to be zealotry against the other.
But you know what?
And even if all the Moloch worshippers are gone, there's going to be Baal worshippers, and there's going to be Mephistopheles worshippers, and there's going to be.
But if all we were left with was the Christians minus the Catholics, they'd all tolerate each other.
Suppose, yeah.
We'd even be okay with the atheists as long as you stayed in your lane.
I saw something about how the Catholics were actually they're actually devil worshippers.
Yes.
Like Pope who was the first pope? Not the first pope. Basically, they were Satanists who adopted Christianity so they could keep practicing their Satan worship. One of the early popes. I want to say it was Constantine. It wasn't Constantine. Who the hell was it?
No, he wasn't a pope.
Pope. Fuck. Somebody knows.
Pope Pius or something.
Yeah, I think you might be right. The battle between good and evil is eternal. You'll get your peace in heaven.
These guys, they must be Christians.
Did you see my video from a couple weeks back about atheist Christian apologist?
Yeah. I didn't want to pressure you on it.
You don't comment on my videos.
Not all the time. Sometimes I do. I do. One of those likes is always mine, just so you know.
Oh, I'm sure you like my videos, but I hardly ever see your comments. CMAC comments all the time. But yeah, no, I was like,
try just for engagement purposes, even if I don't have something witty to say, right?
Yeah, even just call me a faggot. Just go, hey, shut up, faggot. That'd be fine.
But yeah, why are we going to do that? Is that something you're interested in doing that? It's really weird.
What, atheist apologism? Apologetics?
Yeah.
Apologize. No, it's just it's funny because I used to be. I think I mentioned in the video. I used to be a very staunch atheist, and I used to be a holier than thou atheist, which is kind of ironic. I used to
What
be,
I call what I call a devout atheist.
yeah, you could say that. I used to think I was intellectually superior to all my theist friends, and then I started listening to someone like Jordan Peterson. I'm like, I get it. Okay, I get it. Even if I don't believe in the metaphysical aspects of Christianity and belief in God, I get the value. I understand why it's important. And I understand why it resonates with people. And I understand how um how it's an integral part of a society and a civilization, and how you need that kind of belief system in place in order to ground everybody in the same values and the same sort of principled positions to start with, right? Uh, what is she talking about? Yeah, but I never shut up. So asshole. I don't know what that means.
About commenting on your videos. She never shuts
Yeah,
up.
but I never shut up. So
And
asshole. No,
then
no. I love that you do comment.
your devout atheism. So asshole.
Okay. I can't call you that, man. You're too nice, Craig. Oh, thanks. I don't know if I'm that nice. But no, I used to be quite arrogant in my atheism and my belief, and now I'm much more humble about it. I don't wear it like a badge. I used to want to have like a Darwin fish on my car, and then I was like, why do I don't need to broadcast my beliefs to people? I don't need to wear them on my sleeve. If somebody wants to talk to me about what they believe, I can sit down and talk to them about what they believe. But yeah. Did you just pull out your cross and
Yeah.
kiss it?
No, I just pulled it out,
Oh, okay.
put it on display, and then put it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Because that was what the gist of the video was, right? Like talking
Yeah.
about it. That
Yeah.
we would have a greater discussion about it at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure we would. Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
You've made some very valid points that made me rethink some things, but I'm still not there yet.
No, yeah, I mean, everyone in their own time. Like some people are like literally called, you know, where like they have like a moment where like they almost hear the voice of God say something like "Come to me," and they're like, "Oh," and they fall to their knees and they're filled with the fucking, the Holy Spirit, the bliss of the Holy Spirit. Mine was like, "Oh, oh no, fuck, why? Oh man, now I've got to try to be a good person. That's hard."
See, that's a funny thing because I try and be a good person and I don't believe in God.
Yeah, but now I have to because I know.
But see, the thing is, I feel I have to, even though I don't believe in God. I feel I have to be a good person because I feel it's what everyone should do.
Well, some people without knowing the law have the law within them and are already saved, Craig. I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell you.
Part of me wants to go out and have like a drink with my buddy who's a pastor.
Oh yeah.
I went to high school with this guy, and he was always very Christian, and I was always atheist, and we used to like go back and forth and stuff. And he's a pastor. He's a nice guy, great, really nice guy. He officiated my mom's funeral,
Oh,
and
that's kind.
yeah, and I talked to him about it as well because I talked to him a few years ago when we were making arrangements, and I was like, yeah, I'm like I feel as though I'm not quite as you know anti-Christian at this point. He's like, yeah, you. I find that you and a lot of people I know who are atheists are what I would call Christian atheists, and I would agree. Culturally, I'm Christian, right? I was raised in a Christian tradition. I was raised in a nation that is considered one of the nations of the cross. Uh, uh, Culturally, I observe all the Christian tenets. I act as though I'm Christian, whether I believe in Christ as the Savior or not, right? So
Yeah, right down to something silly as when you go visit someone, you probably bring snacks and drinks, right?
my wife always does that. She's always, we got to bring something. I'm like, yeah, I guess we should. I never really think to do it, but
It's bread and wine, man. That's Holy Communion.
Yeah, well, I guess so. I always thought that a priest had to do that.
No, we just Jesus wasn't a priest. There weren't priests. He
No,
just
I mean in the modern context.
modern context is Jesus said, "Share. See
Yeah.
this? This is my body. I'm a fucking carpenter. This food comes from the money I make with my blood, sweat, and tears. This drink made it in the yard. Took time, took effort. It literally comes out of my hide, and I want to share it with you."
Oh,
That's
so
what that is.
you think it's so you don't believe in transubstantiation then?
No, Catholics do everything wrong. I'm not physically eating the body of Christ.
No, no, you're eating a wafer and you're drinking wine. However, as it passes your lips and goes down your gullet, Catholics believe it literally transforms into the blood of Christ and the flesh of Christ.
Which is one of the things that they do wrong because they're Satanists. It's cannibalism. It's the image of cannibalism performed by the Moloch worshippers who rape children.
So you're not a Catholic.
No,
I thought you were because you're Italian and all Italians are
no.
Catholic.
I was born into a half Roman Catholic, half Orthodox family, but I'm not that. I'm something else. I think the nicest way to say it is that I'm a Johannite Christian. Okay.
Ask him what happens when you die. Are you asking what I believe happens when you die?
No, your pastor friend. Uh, Jam. I always take jam or pickles. You know what? Hey, guess what? That's all fruit, which is wine, right? Except, yeah, you've combined your wine and your bread into one thing, the food and the drink together. It didn't have to be bread and wine. It could be, yeah, fucking pickles and beer.
See, I always
It's a-
thought it was just a polite gesture. You're visiting someone's house, you should bring something. It's like a peace offering.
but it comes from this. It comes down from this, right? Like, and
Oh,
everybody does it. And one of the most common things is a bottle of wine or some kind of beer. Like for dudes, it's beers and chips.
yeah, yeah.
For family, it's the nice red wine and some pastries from the bakery, right?
There you go. Yeah.
You're doing the bread and wine, and you're always doing bread, even if it's just coffee and donuts. It's the same idea. I went to work. It literally comes out of my fucking ass. Like
What?
this, it's a chunk of my flesh. All right.
Took out of my
This
ass.
co- this
This
coffee.
coffee is my shit, my
No,
diarrhea,
it
and these donuts
you
represent
know
my
you know what
asshole.
I mean, right? You sit in your chair at the computer, your back is fucking
Yeah,
breaking, your shoulders are rolling,
yeah,
and just to make sure that doesn't negatively affect you, you then have to go to a gym and work even harder where you make no money, and you take the money that you got from hurting your back and your shoulders and your neck and your eyes, and you spend it to give it to somebody else, someone about whom you care,
yeah.
right?
That's
That's
true.
what it is. This is my body. This is my blood. And
Yeah,
he's a carpenter. He's snagging himself on fucking nails and saws. It's literally his body and blood. That's what he was saying.
interesting. I never took it for being metaphorical. I always thought it was meant to be. He knew he was going to die. He was sacrificing himself, and in order to spread himself amongst his apostles, he wanted them to eat of him.
That's some mystical Catholic thing that they want you to make like because then you don't have to do anything, right? Oh, I went to a church and I ate a fucking cracker and drank a sip of wine. Now I'm a good person. No. No, no, no. Jesus sacrificed himself literally on the cross and also constantly by sharing the fruit of his labor,
Right.
right? Unforced, just with the people near to him, right? Do that, the world around you gets a little bit better.
It's
If
true.
they are so inspired out of your 12 apostles, if one of them does it, they'll make that world a little bit better, and so on and so forth, right? And they tell two friends, and they tell two friends, and they tell two friends, right?
Pay. What was that movie? Pay It Forward. I think it was
Yeah,
Haley Joel Osment. I think was in it. Was it
yeah.
Haley Joel Osment? Yeah. That is how we feel about Greek Easter, says Irish Rose. My wife's part Greek too. Yeah. Dang it, guys! Now I have to raid the fridge. About food. Yeah, Greek Easter is a big deal for the missus, and every time I go over to the the in-laws around Greek Easter, she, my wife's mother goes to the local Greek church around Greek Easter, and she always brings back a little piece of bread or toast or cracker or whatever it is they gave out. It's normally like a really hard bread that they do as part of their communion. She's like, here, eat this. I'm like, oh, what
Orthodox
is it? Just
actually,
eat it. She wants me to eat it because she wants me to take communion.
the Orthodox actually recognize Passover.
The Orthodox
So
Greek?
all the Orthodox,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Russian Orthodox, Ukrainian Orthodox, Greek Orthodox. It's all roughly similar enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they recognize the day of Passover, so there is unleavened bread. That's what you're eating.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so I mean, what do I think happens when you die? Well, I think you go into the ground or you get cremated and your material body is gone and the only thing left of you is the heat that you gave off as you were being burnt alive or burnt your corpse was being burnt and anything you left behind in terms of written words or memories in other people's minds or what have you. That's how you live on.
See, you can say all that shit, but you behave as if you have a soul. So I think on some
No,
level,
see,
you
I
know
don't
you
know that I
do.
do. I don't know that I do. I think I have a moral intuition. I don't think that moral intuition is predicated on the idea that I want my soul to survive beyond my death.
Sure, sure.
I think
You're
my moral intuition is predicated upon empathy. And I try to be good to other people and I try to behave morally because I believe that that's the best way for people to get through life and for people to deal with other people in order to survive. I think empathy is what informs our moral intuition because we know that if we mistreat other people, we do badly to other people, it's going to come back around on us.
Here's the thing, though. If that were strictly intellectual, that would only apply in cases where you knew you might get caught. If there was an opportunity where you knew you wouldn't, on an intellectual level, you would benefit yourself. It would make more sense because there will be no consequences. So
I
there's
sup-
something else that's happening. The empathy isn't a thing that just happens. There's no intellectual reason for empathy except getting caught, which will look bad and cause harm to you.
I don't see it that way either. I don't see it that way either because first off, the idea of getting caught is the notion that you desire to break the rules for your own benefit. I think there's only a
No,
few
you
people,
desire your own benefit, but breaking the rules
right?
would
But
be
you know
bad
that
for you
no, you
because
know that the
people would see.
consequences of breaking the rules will not benefit you, so you don't break the rules. It's a cost benefit analysis that you look at, and you look at any situation whereby you could benefit from. Like if I see $100 on the ground, I'm going to pick it up and put it in my pocket. If I see somebody's wallet with $100 on the ground, I'm going to find out whose wallet that is, try and find them, and return the wallet with their $100 to them.
Right.
I
But
could
it
keep the wallet. I could do whatever I want with it. And it has nothing to do with getting caught, except that I would know that what I did was wrong. And if it had happened to me, I'd feel ripped off or hurt by it.
right. But on an intellectual level, there's no reason for you to do any of that. Strictly intellectually, there's no reason. There's no value in it.
No, I think
You
there is.
have
I
there
think
has
there.
to be some
No,
other thing.
I think there is an intellectual reason for doing it for behaving properly. Let's say the idea is that if you behave properly to one to another person, right, it benefits you in the long run. And it's the same way. Why would I risk myself to save some other kid from drowning? Who I have nothing to do with this kid. He's not related to me in any stretch. And if you read Richard Dawkins' The Selfish Gene, you know that all of our motivations are actually they're gene driven. The reason that seagulls squawk when they see food, alerting the other seagulls that there's food, is that even if they don't get to eat all the food and they can't eat all the food, they know that another seagull can eat some of the food. And if that other seagull is even remotely related to them in a genetic at some point in the genetic chain, then your genes are benefiting. It's the same reason why people behave in a a largely magnanimous way or selfless way, because if you do something to benefit another person of your same species, it benefits the genes associated with you, even if they're not directly related. Now, of course, your own kid is much more likely. You're much more likely to want to save them. But if
Okay,
it's some
hold on.
random kid, you'll save the random kid if your own kid is fine, right?
Let me tell you why Richard Dawkins doesn't know a goddamn thing about seagulls.
Well, he didn't
Seagulls
say anything about
squawk.
seagulls. I use the seagulls. I use the seagulls.
Seagulls squawk and draw the attention of other seagulls just in case there's a predator. So when that seagull goes for the food, there are other seagulls to be eaten instead. They're calling them as a shield. Birds flock together and fight for the middle so that outside birds get eaten and they stay safe in the center. That seagull is calling for a shield, not for, hey guys, we can all eat and benefit. No, it wants what it wants and it knows that it is in danger on its own. So it calls the others as a fucking distraction. You know what I mean? As the fucking what the fuck is that called?
What?
Uh he's calling them to draw fire.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's got nothing to do with they know on an instinctual genetic level that they're going to
No, no, they
survive
don't know. No,
genetically.
no, they don't know
No, they're
anything
but they're
about why they do things on an instinctual basis.
right,
The
exactly.
genes, the genes direct the behavior, is what it says.
Wrong. It's simpler. That seagull needs fucking cover. It's terrified of doing anything alone. And so it calls for a meat shield because it has a better chance of survival if it's surrounded by other seagulls. All birds flock like this. Watch birds flock. All right. They're fighting for the middle. That's why when one turns, they all turn because they've got to stick together. Because if you're not inside the center, you're the one getting picked off. Watch fish swim when sharks are around. They're fighting for the middle to save their own asses. It's got nothing to do with helping the whole fucking genetic species. It's bullshit.
No,
And
no, it's not. I miss. I'm not actually articulating it very well.
perhaps
It's not that the eagle or the seagull is doing it because it wants to benefit the other seagulls. It's the gene is directing the behavior to ensure that survival of its own gene of itself. So the genes for squawking, the genes that direct the behavior to squawk, there's a survival component to that. Now, it might not be magnanimous. It might not be what do you call it? It might not be a way. The gene is probably looking at, okay, so if I alert these other seagulls to come and eat the food with me, then okay, I'm not going to get as much to eat, but I may be I may be less likely to die at the hands of a predator. But even if I do die at the hands of a predator and my competitor seagull gets more food than me, the genes in that seagull are the same genes in me. Therefore, it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
that is my opinion. That depth of analysis is a fucking reach of I'm safer if they all come with me. It's a reach. It is a reach way beyond the simplest answer.
No,
Dr. Livingston, I presume.
no. It's not a matter of it's a reach. It's a matter of, well, have you read the Selfish Gene?
No.
Okay, it's worth reading, even if you don't like Dawkins. And I'm be honest, I'm not a fan of Dawkins of late, but it was quite eye opening when I read it. When I started to think about, it's not species that fight for survival; it's genes that fight for survival, and they use the individual organism to propagate and perpetuate themselves down generations. And so, if genes uh, are beneficial to the survival of the organism in which they reside, then they will carry on. And so the genes that promote behavior that is evolutionarily stable, and the genes will promote adaptations that help the organism survive, then they'll live on. And that's so the idea behind the selfish gene is a gene's eye view of evolution as opposed to speciation and taxonomy. It's more along the lines of this is why genes perpetuate. So the genes are what are driving behavior and adaptation and evolutionary behavior. Anyway,
I strongly disagree that empathy is strictly genetic.
I'm not saying empathy is just strictly genetic. I didn't say that it was strictly
Okay,
genetic.
I
I'm saying
strongly
that it's not. I'm saying that empathy and I don't want to call it selflessness, to a degree, selflessness is an evolutionarily stable strategy amongst social creatures like us. I think a lack of empathy, you can survive with it because certainly psychopaths exist, and they a lot of cases they do better than
yes,
baseline people.
yes,
But you'll notice that the population of psychopaths is limited, right? Because not you couldn't have an entire society full of psychopaths because everybody would fucking die because they'd all be killing each other. But if you have a
1%.
small number of psychopaths and they can fly under the radar of a normally decent social group of people who can get along and work together and be magnanimous when it need to and be selfless and be there's another word for it. It's not selfless. The fuck am I? What's the word? I can't think of it. Anyway, um, then those psychopaths can get by. But you need a sort of baseline group of people who can work together in order for people to a society perpetuate itself.
You have a soul. Shut up.
Maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe I do.
You know what?
Here's the thing: if I have a soul, I don't know where it is.
That's fine.
Where is it?
You don't have to know where it is.
Is it extra dimensional? Is it not actually physically a part of me?
No,
Is it,
so you're thinking in this weird way, right? You're thinking in the atomist way.
yeah, because I'm a materialist when it comes right down to it.
Yeah, you're just wrong about that. That's all.
I don't believe in the metaphysical. I believe the metaphysical in conceptually. I don't believe in the metaphysical as physical. I don't believe in the reality of paranormal or supernatural.
Good night, Six. Good night.
Good night, Six. Good talking to you, buddy.
Of course, the population of psychopaths is limited. There are only so many positions in government.
It's true.
Boom, roasted.
Yeah.
Look, here, okay. Speculation. Fat acceptance movement,
Right.
right? Body, they call it body positivity when really it's like body destruction.
True.
And you can hear some of the ridiculousness, especially there's this thing that came around recently called intuitive eating. It basically, yeah. No. Diets are an eating disorder. Eating ordered eating is a disorder, right? So when I have a handful of cashews and a tablespoon of yogurt for breakfast, I have a sandwich for lunch, and then a dinner of veggies, high protein, and maybe some rice or pasta. That's an eating disorder according to these people,
Okay.
right? Intuitive eating is your body will tell you when you're hungry, and your cravings will tell you what you're lacking. So when you crave a half a dozen Krispy Kremes for breakfast, that's what your body needs. And they use this phrase, your body, your body. Your body's going to tell you, as if you're a fucking pilot in a machine driving around getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And it's because there is a huge mind body disconnect. And this mostly happens, sorry, Craig, in fucking godless heathens. Because
I'm all for this idea. I love it. It's a great idea.
because here's the problem. They suffer the mind body disconnect because they're disconnected from the soul. They've so refused its existence that they no longer feel it. It's suffering, it's damaged, they're hurting themselves in their soul different from their mind and body. And I don't care what fucking Thomas Aquinas says. Mind, body, soul is the reflection of the Trinity of God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Stupid Catholics. And it's because they've rejected an entire third of their existence that the other two are coming apart from each other. That I am somehow separate from my body. That the me and the body are two different things, sometimes opposed to each other. And I have to listen to the outside thing called the flesh to tell me what it wants. It's like, no.
No.
You need to reincorporate that soul bit to act as a fucking mortar, a bridge between the mind and the body.
No, what's happened is you become addicted to sugar. And so when you think you want something sweet. So you're like, oh, I have a craving for something sweet. Therefore, I must eat something sweet. That's just an
Yeah.
excuse. It's horseshit. No, I understand what you're saying.
Oh, cake.
You're lacking chocolate cake. It's in your spine. My soul is in my spine. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I
Oh,
thought it'd be in my. I thought it'd be in my thyroid.
it's what keeps you morally upright. Why not physically? So maybe it's not the spine, but it's the erector spinae muscles.
I don't know, man. I think it's I don't know. I think human experience is something that is very mysterious and hard to define. And I think putting it down to something like, oh, we're just material beings is reductionist. And I think saying, well, no, it's because we have a soul. It's why it's so magical, this experience we call living.
Hmm.
I think that might be a bit of a, I don't know. I don't think it's as simple as that.
It's sort of naive. I
I
won't.
don't think it's as simple as that. I think there's more to it. I think there's something along the lines of it's not even just individual souls. I think I'd be more inclined to think there's a collective unconsciousness, and the collective conscious or unconsciousness knows the way that people should behave. And if we're not only just disconnected from our bodies and our minds, we're disconnected from each other.
Well, here's an interesting take on that, right? If your mind is your conscious self, then the collective unconscious would be the soul. And all our souls are interconnected on the other plane, the plane beyond the material or whatever.
Right.
But also here at the same time, why not? That's, it's all speculation. We can just make shit up. It's fun. But you ask the question, I don't know where it is. Where is my soul? Okay, well, where's your mind?
My mind is an emergent property of my brain. It's not a thing.
So so your mind isn't in your brain, it's from your brain.
Right.
Okay. See, now I'm a person that creative type. I've done some, drawing, I play a little guitar, even some sculpting. I can tell you my mind is a thing. It's not an emergent property. And sometimes it's in my fingers. Sometimes I get to a point where I'm playing guitar, I'm not thinking. My fingers are doing all the thinking. My mind has entered my fucking hands and has taken control of the guitar. It's just direct. Like
See,
I'm
I wish
not
I could
telling
do
my
that.
fingers to do a thing,
Yeah.
right? And
So where I wish I could do, I've tried to learn play guitar, and I just cannot make that connection. Drawing is another thing. Writing, absolutely. I can just I can just pour shit out and then look at it. The 3 or 4 paragraphs I've written. I'm like, how did I come up with that?
you
Like, you know what I mean?
literally
Like,
externalized your mind. You put it in the fucking keyboard. You know what I
right?
mean? Like it's there, and you can do this in the gym. Let's pull up the wag me thing. That mind body connection, right?
Yeah,
Where you stop thinking about the muscles and you're just being the muscles, doing the action like bar pads and whatever. It just starts to click, right?
yeah.
And yeah, right. Again, you're the one with the law within you. You don't have to you know,
You
you're
know, the
already
funny thing is,
it.
when I'm working out, though, I do have a hard time making the mind muscle connection. I find pain in muscles that technically I'm not working out. So when I'm doing butterflies, right? Where am I feeling the tension? I'm feeling it in my arms, in my elbows, feeling it in my wrists, but I'm not feeling it in my chest, even though the chest is what I'm supposed to be working out. I have to concentrate on contracting my chest muscles in order to feel it in my chest.
Mind body connection, right? That
Yeah,
you start
that's what I'm saying. I don't have a very instinctive kind of mind body connection for that sort of thing.
right
And
being
it probably
physical.
that may be why I'm not very good at I have found it very difficult to learn even the small few things I learned on guitar. I just couldn't quite get my fingers to do what I needed them to do to make the sound.
Well, this is a strange connection. Jonathan Haidt and anti-fragility, right? Everything about a person requires practice.
Yeah,
Your immune system requires practice, your muscles require practice, your mind requires practice, keeping sharp, right? Apparently learning to dance is one of the best things to for people who got the early indicators for Alzheimer's. They can hold off the Alzheimer's because of the mind body connection,
right.
right? So you stay more focused for longer periods of time. So practicing being a good person is what makes you a good person, right?
Yeah,
You don't have to instinctually be good or intellectually be good. You just have to practice being good. And then suddenly, just like playing guitar, your mind will go into your fingers and you'll pick up a wallet and you'll instinctively your soul will go into your hands and do the good thing
yeah,
because you keep practicing it.
yeah,
I do I yeah, clearly I'm on the side of the soul exists at this point, but like
yeah.
yeah, like the soul is something you've practiced whether you know it or not. That's
Oh,
what
I'm
you've been
sure.
doing. And I'm
Well,
convinced.
again, like I said, culturally, I'm Christian, right? I was
Yeah.
raised in a Christian tradition by my mom and my dad. I grew up in a Christian country, ostensibly Christian country culture that was, you what do you call it? Informed by Christian tradition.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, it stands to reason. And hey, I'll even be willing to concede this. I think Christianity is probably the best of the big three, and it
Correct.
it may be because I'm uh what do you call it? I'm I'm biased because of how I was raised. But when I think about what I understand about the other big two, I find them lacking. But it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, my best 10Ks were when I was training for the national back in the 90s while I reduced carbs to 50 grams per day. Now, 30 years of my wife's baking, I may look like a walrus. I don't remember the context when that came out, but big competitions are like that. Uh,
Like world
like,
champions and shit, and you zone out in the brain and the body takes
ah,
over.
yeah. Yeah. Like that thing they call the runner's high, right? That
Yeah.
suddenly you're not running, you're floating, you know? Uh,
Yeah, speaking of
Ballet's
runners high,
underway.
yeah, I take the puppy for a walk every day, right?
Mhm.
So yesterday I had to go for an MRI in the evening, and after dinner, I normally take the dog for a walk, and I realized shit, I've only got about 20 minutes to take my walk with the dog, and the dog likes to dawdle, so I'm cutting it really close if I just walk at my regular pace. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna run. So I did a quick run with the dog, and I was like, I didn't even like. It wasn't even like I made a conscious like decision to run. It's like my body just knew how to run again. I haven't run forever. I run on treadmill, but running on the road, running on the street, yeah, I never do that anymore. But yesterday I did. I'm like, oh, that was. I felt amazing after I was done. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good feeling.
running on through actual space as opposed to on a treadmill is
Yeah.
completely different. It feels completely different. You feel, what I mean, the sensation is completely different. The exercise is completely different. Running
Put
on a treadmill is not the same.
yeah. Do you like liver?
No, I can't stand it. I really can't.
I'm not
I
a
like,
huge
I say I like pate. I like duck liver pate, but liver itself, like eating, like cooking liver and eating it,
yeah.
not a fan.
Do it with bacon and mushrooms,
Yeah, yeah.
and take a bite of the liver with the bacon every time. It becomes far more palatable. I'm not a huge fan of it myself, but I am a fan of what it does to me.
Well, it's so much iron, right?
And like a whole bunch of B complex. I think there's K in there,
Yeah,
and even some C, right?
yeah.
Because we're one of the few mammals that doesn't synthesize our own vitamin C.
Right.
That's why we have to get it from an external source. But eating the liver of another animal, holy shit. Yeah. Suddenly I feel like my eyes are dilated and I can see in the dark. And I have this urge to go out in the night and run. Like, yeah, it's like
I
it's
probably
so
should.
weird.
I probably C-Mac made a good point. Put taco seasoning on the liver. I bet you that would make it way
Interesting.
better. I
Interesting.
bet that would
Yeah.
make it way better.
A shit ton of it. Yeah. Sure.
The thing I don't like about liver is it tastes very dry, and that's because of the fibrous nature of liver.
You cooked it too long, man.
It's the way, it's the texture of the actual uh, uh,
Yes. It
fibers
has
of
a
the
strange
liver.
texture.
If you cook it to, well, because I don't want to cook it to medium, I want to cook it to well done because I can't take the texture. So you're saying I should cook it to less than well done?
No, no. Get your temperature higher and cook it faster.
Okay.
Right, because it's the time that you're cooking a meat that dries it out, right? Because it is very moist. It's a slippery glob of, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
organ meat, right? It should be moist. So get your pan really hot, slap it in there, turn it over, should take no more than 4 to 5 minutes. If you're cooking it longer than that, and it should be cooked through,
yeah,
right? But it should still be moist. And if you fry it up in a bunch of like get your bacon going first, so it's filled with bacon fat, and throw it in
yeah,
there, nice strips. You know what I mean? Like cut it into
yeah,
strips before you throw it in the pan, like bacon strips.
yeah.
Yeah, it should turn real quick. And yeah, bite of bacon with liver. You don't have to eat a whole lot of it either, right? Like I mean, a small handful of liver is a lot. Because you're not eating it for a protein source, you're eating it for all the fucking micronutrients that are in another animal's liver.
Well, it also is like pure protein too, right?
Yes, yeah. So, again, you don't really need a large amount of it, a large
Right.
quantity, but
Yeah.
holy shit, yeah, every time, I just, like, I have to go run. I have to go run in the dark.
You feel like a predator. I
Yes,
gotta go. I
yeah.
gotta go take down a deer with my bare fucking teeth and hands.
Also eat some moose.
Yeah,
Moose
I've had
is
moose. Moose
good.
is good.
Fuck yeah, moose stew,
Bison. I like
man.
bison too. Bison's good.
Yeah, it's another good one. Fuck. Yeah, first time I had moose was in a stew at a First Nations wedding.
Liver, eggs, and fish should be eaten raw, you pansies.
So my buddy who got married on the fucking reserve where I ate the moose stew for the first time,
Yeah.
yes, he was teaching students on the reserve, went out to the lake with them because he's helping them learn, like, their own culture because apparently they just sit around on and watch fucking TV and don't learn from their elders anymore. They
Right.
don't respect them.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, yeah, fishing, it's fine." And he pulls like some fucking pike out of the river, right? And he's trying to fillet it or whatever, but they realize they don't have like a fire. They haven't bothered to build a fire. He's like, "Sushi, sushi." And he fucking just starts eating the raw fish right out of the fucking lake.
Pike?
Raw pike out of the
Oh,
lake. You know, 3 months later, he's been sick for 2 months, like almost constant fever and
yeah, he's probably got
vomiting.
parasites.
He's got fucking worms.
Yeah. What the hell? Yeah, I don't mind sushi, but no, I wouldn't eat raw fucking pike out of the river. Forget that.
You gotta remember that sushi is fucking,
Yeah.
like, picked very specifically. It's
Uh-huh.
fucking chilled at a very specific temperature for
Yep.
particular lengths of time and stuff, like, yeah. Any parasites are killed.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like sushi. But when I get sushi, I typically get stuff like I'll have raw tuna and raw
Mhm.
salmon and that kind of stuff. More often than not, when I'm eating sushi, when Melina orders sushi, I'm getting the cooked stuff. So the shrimp and and I can't do urchin. I don't know how people eat fucking sea urchin. Like that stuff just looks disgusting.
Yeah, some of it looks disgusting, but if it comes out of the sea, it's probably delicious.
Oh, maybe, but it looks like poop. It looks like orange baby poop on a bed of rice. Forget it.
Fucking oysters look like snot. What do you
I
want?
don't eat oysters either because
A
they look like
weirdo.
snot. You want to eat rocks filled with boogers? Go ahead, man. Knock yourself out. I'm not eating them.
Anytime. We call it arrabbiata.
Okay.
Pasta del mare.
Pasta with fish.
Yeah, pasta of the sea.
Yeah, marine pasta. There you go. Yeah, the wife, she likes fucking octopus and squid. No, I can't do it, man. Forget it. Not a
Really?
fan of.
Calamari?
Oh no, God no. And you know what? Fact of the matter is, most restaurants where you're getting calamari, where you get the deep fried calamari
Yeah.
rings, it's probably not calamari, eh?
Oh, the rings from like a fucking pub. Okay,
It,
yeah.
yeah, it's probably pig anus.
Is
It
that why
is.
it's so chewy?
Yeah, it's probably pig anus because it's not. I mean, it could be calamari, but if they bought it, you know, in a box of frozen stuff that they throw in the deep fryer, it could be pig anus.
No, there's one place in the deep in the city that I would drive to just for fucking calamari. We should go sometime. You don't have to eat all the calamari, but I'd like you to try it maybe. No, no, no. It's not there's no possible way. It's fucking calamari, don't worry.
Well, maybe it is. I don't like the texture of it. I find it chewy.
It was made wrong. It was overcooked.
Maybe,
Should not be chewy. Yeah,
maybe.
should not be chewy.
And
I
it's the
actually got a
same
place
thing.
down the street from me. It's actually
Same
pretty good.
goes for shrimp. Like shrimp can be cooked too much, and it tastes like
Yes.
crap. I can't stand it.
Yeah. If it's overcooked,
It tastes
almost
like rubber. It's
all
like
the
chewing
shellfish
rubber.
turns rubbery if you overcook it by 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's why
100%.
I'm like. That's why I don't like ordering shrimp at a restaurant. I'll eat shrimp like a cocktail shrimp. I'll eat those, no problem.
Again, I got a couple of Chinese places, masters of shellfish,
Yeah.
masters of cephalopods. Trust me.
Well, I was talking to CMAC in the chat last week. We need to do a ammunition live on location in Kingston. She said she'll host. We can do it at her place, and then we'll go to Stratford and we'll do ammunition live on location at Costin's place, and then we'll go to your place. We'll do ammunition live on location in Etobicoke.
Yeah, but let's fucking figure out how to do it from our phones or from a laptop and a Wi-Fi hotspot or something because
Yeah,
instead of going to like just being here like this, if we're gonna do on location, let's pick a cool spot in our
yeah,
town.
yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll do live on location with our phones or a tablet or whatever, and we'll be like sitting there drinking.
Yeah, because if I can't get you to eat the calamari, then we can go to the fucking Starving Artist Waffles here in the West End, man.
Yeah.
Starving Artist Waffle House, fantastic little place in a fucking strip mall in Rexdale. All right, they make waffle sandwiches.
That sounds good.
Like, yeah, like you can get like the fucking chicken club on waffles.
Well, that sounds good.
Yes, BLT on waffles. They're fucking like, yeah, it's really fucking good. It's a crazy little place. I have no idea how it stays open in this fucking area. It made it through COVID. They survived through COVID. They're still open. And there's a little spot next door to them in the plaza that's like never rented. So every once in a while, they open up a whole fucking gallery. So they have art on the wall that's for sale. You can just purchase if you like that piece for $300. You can buy it off the wall. And then they'll open up a whole gallery. I can already see what this is.
You want to share it?
Yeah. Oh man.
CMAC could not see it.
You have to shake your head. You have to like look through it and shake your head back and forth, and then you're gonna see it.
Hold on. Hold on. I had to draw it out for her, and she still couldn't see
No,
it.
no, like
She's like,
shake
"What am
your
I looking at?" And I'm like, "She's," and she's like, "I can't squint. I'm too high." And I'm like, "Okay, so
it's
don't
actually
squint.
easier to see as a thumbnail.
Yeah, relax your vision, and then you'll be able to see it."
Don't even relax.
She still couldn't see it, and I'm like,
Literally shake your head back and forth.
she's like, "I must be blind. I can't
Give me
see
the
it." I'm
regular
like,
one. Give me put up the regular one.
this one.
No, no, no.
Oh, okay.
The tense, the tense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shake your head back and forth like this while you're
Yeah,
looking
then you
at
can
it.
see
It
the
will
happy
appear.
merchant. Then you can see the happy merchant.
Okay. Enough of that. Enough of that.
Pox shared that yesterday. And I was like, and I couldn't see it either. I'm like, oh my God, I see it now. And she's like, what am I seeing? You're like, are they just homeless people or are they dead? And I'm like, you don't see the happy merchant? It was funny. Anyway, sir,
Yeah, we should call it.
we probably should. It's just after 2 hours. I got to get up early. We're going to Guelph tomorrow. So
oh, cool.
I need to
I got to
shave.
work, so
Oh, I'm sorry. What time do you work tomorrow?
not till, you know,
Happy.
afternoon, evening shift. It's fine. Uh,
Cool.
but yeah, weird stream, guys. Thanks for coming. This has
Yeah, it
been,
was kind of a weird stream.
yeah, went all over the place.
That's all right, though. It was good discussion.
Yeah, it always goes all over the place. Oh, fucking Nazis in Parliament,
She
man.
says, now I see. I was too high, lol. I found some old edibles. They were still strong. Apparently, they don't get weaker with age. No.
No, ma'am, they do not. Not like the bud will, but once it's synthesized into an edible,
Yeah,
it's locked in for good.
there you go.
Yeah.
Shrimp is just gross in general. Ocean roaches, says Uncle Cheesy.
What fucking chowder?
Chowder.
Like clam chowder?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically just hot ocean milk with dead animal croutons.
That's right.
Oh. All right, so good night, everyone.
Good night, all.
I love the dead animal croutons. We'll see you next time. Ammunition, probably next week.
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Hail Sigmar.